class of 2013 the top student, exemplifies all the qualities of an outstanding student. He will be attending Miami University in the fall, majoring in microbiology with a pre-med track. A lot of doctors coming out of Batavia High School in the next several years, which will make their parents happy. At this time, I'd like to present Alex White.
Orson Scott Card said that every person is defined by the communities they belong to. In this moment, I can say with confidence that we all belong to a wonderful community. There's something to be said about a small town. There's a reason this place will define us in a way. What's special about living in a community like this is the type of relationships it allows to develop. A lot of us have lived here our whole lives. Some of you were there in Yules' class with me at Barks Daycare. Some of you still get your hair cut at Chris's barbershop. A lot of us have eaten Grandma's pizza until our fingers were too greasy to grab another piece. And I hope that by living in this small town, you realize the value that a community can offer. The relationships, the unshakable feeling of home when you're in your community. I hope you've thanked everyone that's made you a valuable part of this community. Your parents, your whole family, your teachers, your coaches. They all want the absolute best for you. We're all part of an even smaller, closer community. We're members of the same class. We've all been greeted in the mornings by Mr. Parrott and his prided airport runway cone. We've been demanded to make the decision between fruit or vegetable upon entering the lunch line, thanks to Michelle Obama. We've crammed into the trainer's room that used to be a storage room because sometimes the heavy metal music blaring from the weight room gets a little bit too loud. We shouted our way to victory in every single pep rally we've been a part of, even with the host of distractions. Mr. Now in makeup, Mr. Ogden in a cheerleading dress, Mr. Lyons wrestling a wildcat, Miss Katja eating a worm off the floor. We've walked cautiously through the halls, mindful that Gary the Snake could strike at any minute. We've been the object of hatred for the janitor staff, most notably with our recent senior prank that consisted of making the biggest mess humanly possible. Bless the heart of the freshman that popped the honey balloon. As goofy and hilarious as our class naturally is, we've also had some seriously notable accomplishments throughout our high school careers. This year, our football team made school history by going to the playoffs. What a great sense of community felt at those games. Everyone in our student section had a blast cheering them on. I even felt that same spirit at our basketball games. While we weren't quite as historic or accomplished, we had fun. Some individual shout-outs for our class athletically. Gabe Archer went to state for wrestling and was the player of the year for 2 sports this year. Gabe, Zane Eisen, and Nate Johnson are all going to the next level for football, and so are Neil Wilson, Morgan Turner, Mackenzie Fissler, Don Goodspeed, Blake Thornton, Austin Lenhart, and more for their respective sports. Aside from athletics, our classes raised money for the American Cancer Society and Stepping Stones. We funded our junior prom, this year's after prom. We made up a big portion of donations in this year's blood drives. We raised awareness for homelessness with our little shanty town. The list goes on. You've already improved this community so much, but my question to you is, what will you bring to your next community? What will your next community be? Like I said before, every person is defined by their communities. How will you be defined? As of now, our class has a few things in common, namely that we are high school graduates from Batavia, but what's next? I can tell that since you are a member of class, you're a member of this community and class, you're set up to be very valuable to whatever future communities you may be a part of. That raw athleticism that won games for Batavia this year will be doing the same on a college team in a few months, whether it's a varsity team or just rep. Those natural acting abilities that led to your casting as a lead farm animal in this year's musical are going to continue to thrive in even bigger theaters. That work ethic that allowed you to finish your sophomore anthology will be translated to your master's thesis in a few years. And those are just a few examples. And the variety in those examples is the same type of variety in the choices you'll have for your future. You choose your job, you choose your family, you choose your community, and you choose what's going to define you. With that, there are a few things you should do once you finally get that diploma. First, pat yourself on the back. That piece of paper represents not only the hours of studying you put in to pass all your classes, but the balancing act you had to perform to study and go to all your extracurricular activities, and have a job, and have a social life, and have a sane mind. Today's high schoolers are busy people. You deserve that diploma. From there, give your relatives a big hug too. Thank them for all they've done. They're busy people and they've always been there for you. They've allowed you to be where you are today. Then, from there, as summer goes on, make an effort to keep in touch with the people you care about. Have preached relationships. Those are part of the backbone that allows you to succeed. It takes a village to raise a child that graduates from high school. It takes a network of people to help you continue on succeeding. It takes a conscious effort on your part to keep those relationships strong so you can have that network. Then, after that, let it sink in that you're finally graduated and you're on your way to being a fully functional member of society, a valuable contributor to all your communities, the communities that you selected and that define you. Thank you.